Hello viewers, Super GT here. Welcome to one of the weirdest daily race A's in a long time. The Toyota Tundra truck is the star of the show for this one. Now, as you can see, it really is a big chunky boy, and this would therefore make for a very interesting race. Just look at it gracefully negotiate the top of the mountain here at Mount Panorama, and I decided to give it a quick spin before the race itself begins to see how this thing handles. And actually, given its curb weight of near enough 2.5 tons, it actually has a fair amount of grip. It actually grips pretty well. So much so I went into the barrier there and got myself a penalty. But that was just practice. We jump into the first race and I decided to not qualify, starting at the back. This guy in the chat, have an excellent race everyone. This is the positivity we wish to see in Daily Race A. He might be being optimistic though, because yes, you are seeing that correctly. That is a standing start here at Mount Panorama, or Bathurst, if you like. And well, this can only mean one thing going into turn one, with 12 of these big boys hurtling towards the first corner. Let's see how this one goes down then. Lots of contact, as you'd probably expect. Rosie Boy 82 going immediately to the back of the pack. Absolute disaster. Curryman 78 here alongside us. We've got a good run actually. We've got some good momentum, hitting highs of 100 miles an hour here as we head in towards turn number 2. It looks like there are a lot of jostling up there at the front of the pack. Curryman gets shafted into the barrier, and through comes Ben Allison. So up the hill we go. Again, more fighting continuing up the hill here. The Spaniard, this time he's getting shafted. I'm going to follow Ben up the inside of the Spaniard, and I've moved myself from 11th at the start up to 7th. Now, this top section here, top of the mountain, pretty much flat out. It's not flat in a geographical sense, but it's flat in terms of an accelerator sense, because you're not reaching huge speeds. Well, I suppose for a truck, 107 miles an hour through there, that'll be rather ropey inside the cockpit, it must be said, if you were to do this for real. And down the hill again we go, for the first time actually in this race. Find myself now in 6th position. Amazing stuff. I just wanted to say actually, on the theme of 6, we just hit 600,000 subscribers on this channel, which is really incredible. So I do thank everyone for being part of this 600k. If you're not, then help me get to 700k. Why not? But yeah, it's been amazing. So thank you everyone. Back to this race. As we head down towards the chase, we have a German in tow just behind. We can go up the inside here. I don't know my braking point, so I've braked quite late here. Probably, yeah, too late I would say, if anything. Ben amazingly tried to fight that one around the outside, comes back on, and we're back onto the grass. Although, to be fair, this car is probably quite suited to being on the grass, so no real sweat there. Now, you might have noticed it's only a 2-lap race, so we've done half the race now as we go through the final corner. And I find myself in 5th with a big pack just behind and a big gap just in front. Therefore, I think 5th is realistically the best position we can aim for here, unless the guys in front really do shaft themselves big time. A penalty up in front, but it's only a half a second, so I don't think I'll be able to do too much about that. Now we can check out the slipstream coming down the back straight here towards turn 2, and there very much is slipstream. I mean, given the size of this thing, it'll be pretty much like a sail in the wind going into going along the straights here in one of these things. But we resist the overtake that time, parking it on the inside, not much they can do, and then through up the hill in towards turn number 4. The German goes for it, and it's a robust move, but he moves through up into 5th. Now, it's very hard to reply, and he sends some sort of Morse code message there. I don't know why he's braking. You do not need to brake on this section of the hill, not in these cars, or these vehicles, should I say. Pretty much flat out. 100 miles an hour has been hit. Not much you can do, just have to wait, and really just wait for the back straight towards the chase or the final corner, and that's where you're going to get most of the action done. So down the hill, just basically a case of don't do anything silly, don't get a penalty, and just make sure you stay right on the tail of the car in front and give yourself a chance of an overtake. So through here into 2nd gear, lots of compression. You can get on the power really early, actually, much earlier than you think. Car in 4th is about to serve a penalty. I don't think we're about to catch up with them. The main quest here is for 5th. If we can just get this position, that'll be a nice return. Started 11th, we're up 5 so far. Could we go up 6 positions and finish 5th? In the slipstream then, he is going to defend the left-hand side, and probably the wisest decision. I'm going to have the inside for that right. I will have the outside for the chicane here. So I just have to settle in behind. All I can do now, go for a pass into the final corner. Try and force him narrow, perhaps. So I'm going to stay to the left. I'm surprised he's blocking this much, and he's staying there. I'm going to go to the outside, and he's committed way too much. So as he goes off into the Barry R, we can just cue the sad piano music for our friend here. As we move up into 5th position, I think someone else went off in sympathy following into the Barry R. And, well, there you go. Finishing 5th position. Not a bad race, actually. Shame it wasn't 3 laps. Or maybe 200 laps. And amazingly, that counted as a clean race. Not sure how that one worked. So that was race number 1. Very interesting stuff. We move on to race number 2. Going with Voodoo Blue on our car this time. And, you know, you wait for the race countdown timer to finish. And then before you know it, you find yourself going into the race.
No! Nice and steady. Come on!
Well, actually the Shadow Realm. So 20 agonising minutes later, we actually managed to get into a race, which didn't disconnect. And this time we are starting dead cold last. 12th position out of 12. Let's see what return we can get from here then. And we got 6 positions last time. Can we go for more? That is the main question. Away from the line we go. So, just really trying to pick your way through the crowd here. And that guy immediately giving up. So through here, not much to really see. But what you're trying to do really is just pick a side. So essentially, a lot of the time, there'll be 2 trucks side by side, and you just have to kind of hedge your bets on the one which you think will get through quickest and follow them through. So, I mean, that situation is going to arise right here. I'm going to bank on the Portuguese driver on the left, so I'm going to put myself on the left-hand side, try and follow him through. Got 2 left-handers coming up. But it kind of just concertinas up, and actually the Dutchman goes flying around the outside. So it looks like Max Verstappen on his burner account there, just flying through. Good stuff, Max. And then we shuffle our way through the top of the hill. It opens up some space there, quite surprisingly, because this kind of part of the track you shouldn't really be able to overtake. But yeah, just caught that guy napping. Perhaps that is Cristiano Ronaldo on his burner account. And who would have known? I suppose he's not an expert on Toyota Tundra racing on Gran Turismo Sport. He's a bit busy practicing football. But there you go. As this Portuguese go, oh my goodness, what is going on here? Now this is where all manner of depravity has broken loose, and I've even struck the barrier myself, and I find myself now in 8th. This marshal here risking his life, waving that flag, because these cars are so big that I'm pretty sure we could have hit his arm off there. So very brave marshalling. But down the hill we go, end of lap number 1. And you can see there's quite a bit of field spread. You really do need to be starting towards the front of the pack if you want to stand a chance of winning. I mean, if I did this race 100 times starting 12th, you might win 1 or 2 if you're really lucky. But, I mean, that's if you're really lucky. Apart from that, though, you got to really just maybe find 3 or 4, 5 positions maybe. Any more than that and you've done well. Couldn't quite make my way past Max Verstappen there. He made a little bit of a mistake and I just really had nowhere to go. I suppose these cars are pretty chunky. They take up a fair amount of the circuit. But I do get the nice little undercut there on the exit. This will mean as we cross the line to begin the second lap, side by side, I'll have the inside for turn 1. And yeah, we quite comfortably take it. So 7th position, not quite in the top half. As we come into turn 2, I thought I was safe here, but evidently not. Evidently not. As Max comes flying back through with a very forceful manoeuvre, and we lose actually 2 positions as a result. So Cristiano Ronaldo now battling with Max Verstappen, and I thought he would go for it, but he doesn't. Quite annoying. So now we have to kind of settle into 9th through the top of the hill, where not much happens, and then whip it forward to when we go back down the hill. Ronaldo's wide, and we're going to go past him quite easily. Our main aim here, I suppose, is just to gain 1 position, trying to get this 7th position back, and it doesn't look like we can get more than that. So just trying to get a good exit here. Crucial to get that power at the right moment. Okay, here we go then. I'm going to go side by side. He's left me the space just about onto the grass a little bit, but it's not too bad. So this is the most iconic drag race of all time, between 2 Toyota Tundras going down the back straight at Mount Panorama. And it looks like player 3 is... there he is, he's coming back with the slipstream. Cristiano Ronaldo with the afterburners on there. As we head into the braking point, got the inside line. He's going to try and fight that one around the outside, not having any of it. I'm going to shepherd him wide onto the grass and keep or gain 7th position. Anyone ahead going to smash each other off? No, it doesn't look like that's going to happen at all. Into the final corner we go. It's going to be a 7th. A bit disappointing, as it's a worse result than before, I suppose. But we still gained 5 positions from the start. And amazingly, that once again counted as a clean race. I'm not sure how this game measures clean race, but obviously it doesn't do it correctly. Okay, right, so as I mentioned earlier, it's a good idea if you want to win the race to try to start towards the front. So we're going to set a qualifying lap time now. 2:33.5, 2:33.0. I was on for a very good lap here until that moment there. Clipped the inside of the barrier and I surrendered a 3/10 lead. It didn't matter anyway because I was getting sick and tired of these bloody disconnects. Yeah, very frustrating. What this did give me though was more time to try to set a better lap time. I know I can go quicker than this 2:33.0. So for turn 1, nice. Turn 2, how about this? On the power nice and early. It's all about choosing the correct gear as well. Through there just fine. This is a crucial corner as well. Through there in 2nd gear on the power nice and early. Top of the hill, all flat, lovely, and then back down the other side. Nice and close to the barrier, all the way down. Gear shifting at the presumably correct point. And then this corner here at the bottom. Very crucial to your lap. We're not going to try and clip the inside barrier this time. That was a bit better. And through the chase. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is a good lap. I don't have a delta to work from, but it felt good. It felt good. Let's see what it is. As we finish, it's a 2:32. Lovely. Lovely stuff. And not quite a lap of the gods, but it was not too bad. I'll take it. It puts us 3rd on the grid. And therefore we have a realistic chance of trying to win this race. So let's try and do that, shall we? Away from the line we go for the Australian Grand Prix. Hurtling towards turn number 1. Max power on the inside. Got a bit of a bump from behind. And again, we're just going to try and back the correct horse. And on this occasion, I'm liking the look of this Swiss horse called STI Arosa. So we're going to go to the right, he goes left actually. And I've got a bit of a run here. And Arosa's going to have to cover this one off because I will go for this lunge if he doesn't. And he does. So not much I can do there. Max Power trying to fight that one around the outside. Not quite going to work. And then we have a fantastic drag race now up the hill. Arosa versus Super GT. This is what the people have paid their money to see. Trying around the outside at turn 4 doesn't quite work. The camber is very much in your favour on the inside on that corner. And therefore, Arosa settles into the race lead. Although, okay, early doors just yet. I'm happy with second because we've moved up one. Down the hill then. Let's see how we judge this one. Just try to keep as close as we can without going into the back of him or into the barrier. Fantastically negotiated as we hurtle down once again through Forest Elbow, which is this one. Is it this left-hander? Someone please correct me in the comments. It's one of those corners anyway. So here we go then. Down the back straight. Firmly in the slipstream. He's going to defend the left. We're going to go right. And it is quite a hard choice knowing which side to defend, because obviously you have this kink in your favour to the right, but then you do need the inside for this left-hander. I'm going to try this one around the outside. Is this going to work? I'm going to try and force my way in. And we're still side by side now. Max power on the left, and there's not much I can do here. He's got himself alongside. I'm going to do well to try and keep this position here. I'm going to go a bit wider, give him the space. And with the wider turn, I can actually get on the power slightly earlier and just about maintain the position. So max power actually under threat from another Portuguese driver, perhaps Bernardo Silva now playing, logged on alongside Cristiano Ronaldo. But we've only got one lap left now to try to get the position back and try to win the best daily race of all time, the most important daily race of all time. Whoever wins this is basically the GOAT, and there's just no dispute about that. There's no way you should dispute it. Arosa goes very deep, and that was just a big invitation to go for Lunge of the Millennium. And well, Lunge of the Millennium was complete. We're now in the lead, and we have half a lap within which to try to keep it. So you can see him very much on my tail, which is rather a worrying sight in the rearview mirror. Look at him, very, very close indeed. Over the crest, highest point of the circuit, as we now begin to descend into the final third of the lap, and therefore the final sixth of the race, because it's a 2-lap race. Okay, through there, fantastic, amazing, and just left him for dust, and there's just no chance of him keeping up there. But this could actually work in his favour, because now onto the back straight, he is 6 tenths behind, or just under that, and this means he can get a very big slingshot. In fact, a better one than if he was only 3 tenths behind or 2 tenths behind. So now you're going to see him very slowly but surely gain, and I have to make a decision here. Which side am I going to defend? I think the left is the side to defend. He's going to move ahead here through the kink. I still have the inside line. Late on the brakes, we make sure we get to the apex first. Go a little bit wide onto the grass on the way through. Another player comes throughout. It's Bernardo Silva out of nowhere. Into the final corner. We're going to defend it. Go to the left. Make sure we don't outbrake ourselves. Braking just before the 50 board, which has been knocked over. And we're going to keep the position. Absolutely sensational stuff. One of the most important victories in motorsport history.
Oh, yes!
But there we go, guys. It was a fun daily race, actually. Really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Get yourself subbed if you did, and you're not already subbed, obviously. Have yourself an excellent day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.